Good afternoon and welcome to this broadcast. My name is Victor Muyakane. Our sign language interpreter is Susan Thuku. We begin our news broadcast with the latest update in the search for the missing plane. Search and rescue efforts for a commercial plane which disappeared from the radar on Tuesday evening have been hampered by bad weather. A coordinated rescue team comprising of the National Intelligence Service, the Kenya Wildlife Service, the Kenya Police Service, the Kenya Air Force and the Kenya Red Cross have set up a base at the Njambini Primary School as rescue efforts continue. Family and friends of those on board the plane have been asked to seek information at Njambini Primary School, while another information desk has been set up at the Western Hotel in Nairobi. The plane, operated by the FlySax Aviation Company, which was traveling from Kitale to Nairobi with 8 passengers and 2 crew members on board, was reported missing at around 5 p.m. yesterday somewhere in the Aberdares mountain ranges near Kinangop and Njambini. A Kenya Red Cross vehicle which was rushing to Njambini collided head-on with a lorry. The crew is admitted at the JM Hospital in Ol Kalou. Those are the details we have as of now. We should be able to brief you on the latest as and when it happens. Please keep tabs on our Twitter handle at KBC Channel 1. You will get all the latest updates concerning that story as they occur. And you can also check our website periodically, that is www.kbc.co.ke, where our online reporters are dedicated to give you all the latest information and updates as and when they happen. In other news, President Kenyatta is in Quebec in Canada, where he will attend the G7 summit. The head of state is scheduled to address the summit that takes place on Friday and Saturday on issues of the blue economy and environmental management. This is the second G7 summit that President Kenyatta will be addressing.
President Kenyatta's visit to Canada to attend this year's G7 summit follows an invitation by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau when the two leaders met in April at Lancaster House, London, on the margins of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in the United Kingdom capital. The plane carrying the president left Jomo Kenyatta International Airport shortly before 7 p.m. last evening. This year's G7 summit in Quebec, which will take place on Friday and Saturday, will focus on economic growth, climate change and security.
He has been invited and accepted to participate. You know, this is one of the most exclusive meeting of global leaders, 7 of them, to really discuss broad global challenges that are affecting humanity. They convene once a year.
President Kenyatta will address the summit on issues of the blue economy and environmental management.
And so there will be a lot of discussions about innovative technology that can enable participation of young people, of women in workplaces, so that the whole of humanity can participate in growing its prosperity.
Kenya is among the first African countries to effect the ban on plastics. This is the second G7 summit that President Kenyatta will be addressing. Last year, President Kenyatta was among the African leaders invited to the G7 summit, which took place at Taormina on the Italian island of Sicily. The G7 nations include Canada, United States of America, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Italy, and Japan. Samson Kitavi, Lunchtime News.
In other news, Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu has refuted claims that he was running the affairs of the county like his own business. Waititu says that he has been running the county in consultation with all elected leaders and locals, and those trying to accuse him of that particular, allegation of running the affairs of the county like his own business have their own agenda.
Waititu has downplayed allegations of running the affairs of the county as one-man show, claiming the allegations were part of the 2022 political scheme to oust him from office.
Wale wananinyorosha, mimi najua wanataka kusimama kiti ya governor 2022. Hata mimi niko kwa ofisi, wacha nifanye kazi wakati yangu. Kama wewe utabahatika siku hiyo, na wewe ufanye kazi. Lakini kwa wakati huu mimi ndio niko kazini. Sasa siwezi kubali ati wewe uniweke kwa vita ati mimi saa yote tunapigana na wewe.
Waititu said his deputy had not appreciated problems facing the county and should not make a mountain out of nothing.
Wewe ukisema huna gari, na sisi kulikuwa na gari ya governor na kulikuwa na gari ya deputy governor. Sasa ile sisi tulichaguliwa under normal circumstances, tunaendelea na zile gari ambaye tulikuta. Na hivyo ndio tunafanya. Kama ni ofisi ile ilikuwa ya governor, mimi nakaa kwa ofisi ile ilikuwa ya governor. Hiyo ndio kiti ile niliomba.
Mimi kwa miguu na mwili wako wa body ama body.
Meanwhile, Gatundu South Legislator Moses Kuria is warning Waititu not to dare take his illicit brew crackdown to the area.
Illicit brews must be localized. Na hapa kwangu nimesema hiyo amefanya kuisha. Sasa hii nyingine ni kazi yangu. Na mimi sijasema nimelemewa na kazi ya kumaliza pombe. Hiyo ni kazi yangu na kazi ya hawa. Na kila mtu afanye kazi ambayo ni yake.
Kuria challenged Waititu to instead concentrate on development of the county instead of going after issues which can be handled by the security machinery in the county. Rose Agakwo for Channel 1, Lunchtime News.
The first batch of Cuban specialist doctors jetted into the country in the wee hours of the morning as the government moves to fully implement its agenda on affordable healthcare. The 50 doctors from Cuba arrive amid controversy with local doctors protesting their recruitment. The other 50 doctors are expected to arrive in the country on Thursday.
The plane ferrying the Cuban doctors touched down on Kenyan soil just a few minutes after midnight at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. At hand to welcome the doctors was Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, a member of Council of Governors Health Committee and Kisumu Governor. Nyong'o was part of the entourage that joined President Uhuru Kenyatta in his trip to Cuba, where the deal was struck.
We have received the first batch of 50 doctors whom you have seen walk out of here. We will also be expecting the next 50 batch on Thursday evening as we aim for achievement of universal health care. It's important that we are able to get service as close to the people as we can. We will be taking them through a 2-week induction program, preparing them for the role that they are going to play in our health sector.
The doctors are expected to undergo a 2-week induction program before they are posted to work across the counties. Each county will get at least 2 specialized doctors.
Doctors that have come, these are really experienced doctors. They are specialists, as we have said before, and they are going to go and fill in gaps that exist in our health system. We will be distributing them to the counties where they will be providing service to wananchi. As we aim for achievement of universal health care, it's important that we are able to get service as close to the people as we can.
National and county government signed a deal that will see the national government pay the salaries while the county government foot the bill for accommodation and transport, a case in which Kenyan doctors had challenged the recruitment of the Cuban doctors in court flopped after the Labour Relations Court declined to stop their arrival in the country. The doctors had argued they had not been subjected to a competitive process to determine their suitability. Linus Moshigadi for Channel 1 News.
Kajiado County Governor Joseph Olelenku has directed a lifestyle audit for all senior employees in the county government as he steps up the war on graft. While addressing the county assembly, Olelenku reiterated his government's commitment to ending cartels that have been siphoning public funds from the county government for personal enrichment.
The state scales up the war against graft in national institutions. County governments are taking cue. Kajiado Governor Joseph Ole Lenku has directed all senior officers to be subjected to performance contracts from 1st July 2018. Lenku also directed that a lifestyle audit be conducted on senior officers to promote accountability, noting that any officer found engaging in corrupt deals will be fired and prosecuted.
Hakuna njia ya kuadhibu kama kazi yako hairidhishi. Ndio sababu tunasema kwenda mbele, officers wanapoajiriwa wanalipwa kwa performance contract, na kuanzia tarehe 1 mwezi Julai mwaka huu, senior officers wa position wa director watakuwa kwenye performance contracting, na tunaitisha support katika ya procurement, watafanyiwa lifestyle audit kuhakikisha kwamba wako sawa.
While addressing members of the county assembly, Ole Lenku said his government is targeting to collect 1.8 million shillings in revenue in the next financial year.
The positions of director up to the CCs will commence their performance contract 1st July 2018, which is the next financial year. So this is really an immediate point of action, and I'm sure the relevant department will take note of the same. If we change our heads of procurement, less than 5 months.
The city of Kajiado welcomes the move by the governor and the executive team to introduce performance contracting beginning July 1st, 2018, which is a new financial year. I think it is an incredible move that the relevant committees of the assembly will swiftly ensure that this will not just be another beautiful speech.
Kajiado County has in the recent days suffered challenges including drought and floods during the rainy season. County Assembly Speaker Johnson Osoi said the County Assembly is working with the executive to implement sound policies for health services and food production.
Residents of Dakacha Woodland Forest in Magarini Sub-County in Kilifi County have vowed to comply with a ban on charcoal burning, ending weeks of wrangling with authorities cracking down on the illegal trade. They are, however, pleading with the government to allow them to transport and sell thousands of bags of charcoal already produced before the sanction.
Before logging and charcoal burning was outlawed, Dakacha Woodland Forest in Kilifi County was a hotspot for charcoal producers. Months into the ban, and residents who previously contravened the law are now pledging support for the government initiative aimed at boosting the country's tree cover. Speaking during celebration to the Mark World Environmental Day, the locals led by the area member of County Assembly, Renson Kambi, and representative from Magarini Charcoal Producers Association and transporters made a declaration to cease logging and charcoal burning activities in the forest.
Kuanzia Hell's Kitchen, ule msitu wote, ukienda ile Boresimwa ile isini Nyari pale, ukienda kule chini kuna sehemu ambao kuna yule mzee wanje wa Madorikola, hiyo 300. Ukija Nikatilili wa Menza hapa 400. Ukienda Bulunguni, ukienda Boresimwaya, ukienda Kapangani, ukienda Adu, ni nyingi sana, na wananchi walijitolea bila kusukumwa kwa sababu ya mwongozo uliotoka katika serikali kuu na serikali ya county kuona ya kwamba zile wametoa wahifadhi, lakini katika zile sehemu zao ambazo wanakaa waweze kufanya nini? Kujisaidia.
While loading the move, Kenya Forest Service Base Commander in charge of Malindi Rapid Forest Inspection and Protection, Harrison Afuata, said they will continue with the crackdown on the illegal activities in the forest.
So currently the number of arrests also we have made, there are over 20 people and they have been fined in court of law. But we are still going on with that operation, and I'm so happy because the area MCA he has convinced his people nobody should continue burning charcoal in Dakacha until proper procedure put in place.
And even
so far, the Kenya Forest Service Rangers have arrested 20 suspects, impounded 4 vehicles and destroyed over 1,000 bags of charcoal since the operation began last month. Kilifi County Executive in charge of Environment, Water and Natural Resources, Mwachitu Kiringi, however, urged the Kenya Forest Service to define conservation areas in the vast forest which comprises Dakacha Woodland, Galana Kulalu Ranch and Adu Ranch.
Tumekatishiwa na tulikuwa tumepewa hata notice. Tarehe 24 mwezi wa pili ndio tulipata hii ban, na tukawa tuko na mizigo na magari imejaa na mizigo kwa collection point. Sasa sisi tukaafektiwa kabisa. Maloni inatungoja.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Kaltun Jama.
Drama unfolded in Ruiru's Gitambaya estate in Kiambu County after 4 children attempted to eject their stepmother from their father's home in a prolonged property ownership row. The children of Joseph Mboroli stormed his second wife's home and harassed Lucy Njeri before neighbors intervened and saved her. Njeri is accusing her co-wife of orchestrating a conspiracy to throw her out of her husband's property.
The children of the first wife of Joseph Mboroli arrived here at the Gitambaya estate in Ruiru and attempted to throw out their stepmother in a property ownership row. However, angry neighbors could not allow them to accomplish their mission. Irate residents defied the presence of police officers at the scene and whisked them away.
Nimestukia asubuhi, wakakuja asubuhi leo hapa asubuhi wakanipatia kotoda. Sasa ndio wakaanza kutoa vitu zangu.
According to Lucy Njeri, the children have been eyeing their father's property that he has apportioned her to an extent of using corrupt means to acquire a title deed for the same parcel of land.
Ile kotonda ilikuwa inasema wasiinterfere na hii plot, hata bwana yangu mwenyewe alikuwa amesema hizi mali yake isiinterfere na mtu yeyote. Kuja wakabadilisha plot through corruption. Though tuko na zile document na mzee sasa mzee alikuwa anakuja hapa, wanakuja hapa kumchapa.
Waambiwa ya kwamba na wajue ya kwamba ni waisi. Hii buroti hawatapata. Hata wafanye nini, hii hawataipata. Kama wako na duplicate na title fake, wajue kutoka leo hiyo title yao fake hatuijui.
Neighbors say it's not the first time the children have attempted to eject their stepmother from her residence. The children allegedly whisked away their ailing father who had been living with Njeri to an unknown place.
Bona watoto wanakuja kukomplain na mama hakuja kukomplain. Huu ni bibi wa kawaida kama yule ambele. Huo na complain. Si hata alikuwa amebibiwa hii plot kwake.
Ni nyumba yangu sasa karanga kitunguu, mtu aje anambia wewe toka nibebee kitunguu changu nje, sufuria nje, kila kitu nje. Mimi nitaenda wapi? Nikuwa huyu mama apewe haki yake. Kama mama. Hata kama aliolewa bibi wa 4, hata tusiseme ni wa pili, tuseme ni wa 4. Bora bwana alimpenda. Na kama alimpenda chenye alimpa, wacha apewe kama haki yake.
Njeri now says her life is in danger and wants the government to protect her from the greedy children of her co-wife.
A 12-year-old girl in Tana River County has been rescued from early marriage to a 56-year-old man. The father of the minor is reported to have pulled her out of school after completing dowry payments.
The standard 6 pupil at Nanigi Boarding Primary School is currently being housed at a rescue center after a child rights non-governmental organization raised the alert leading to her rescue from the trap of early marriage.
That the father wants to marry her off at an early age. So we rushed to the place and we find out that there was a kind of a ceremony for the girl to be married off. So we rescued the girl and we are now taking her back to school so that she can continue with her education. And we have realized that there are many more challenges in this area.
The child rights group condemned the act, urging communities to let go of the outdated practice and adhere to the rights of children to an education and a dignified life. The incident bringing to the fore the continued challenge of child marriages in the region as teenage girls continue to be secretly married off to men as old as their fathers or grandfathers.
Our girls are at risk
in this sub-county, Tana North sub-county of Tana River County. They are at risk because, one, of early marriages. Girls are subjected to marrying while they are very young, as far as even in primary schools. Secondly, there are rape cases where our girls are at risk. Girls are victimized. They become victims of rape cases.
Tana North Sub-County Education Director Idris Noor called for concerted efforts in the war on early marriages, adding that the number of girls dropping out of school was on the increase. Irene Mchuma Odim, The Lunchtime News.
It's time for us to take a short break. We will be right back with more content. Please stay tuned.
SportPesa Super Cup has come to Kenya. Kenya's own Gor, AFC, Sharks and Kakamega Homeboys are getting ready to take on Tanzania's finest, Simba, Yanga, Singida and JKU. The champion will face one of EPL greats, Everton FC at Goodison Park. Don't miss another moment of football history. SportPesa Super Cup from the 3rd to 10th of June.
Jibambe, Jiluse, now go crazy for Christ. Hizi vitu ndogo ndogo ndogo, dansi meshika mashinani. He got me going.
Anatuambia ati tuame kwa hiyo nyumba yetu ya mawe tuende tukakodisha nyumba ya matope. Zablon.
Mama, unafanya nini hapa? Kuna shida nyumbani?
Shida iko hapa.
Welcome back. The Kisumu County government is being challenged to urgently find a lasting solution to mitigate the effects of floods in the region. Stakeholders want the efforts to deal, or rather desilt, rivers in the county, and that process enhanced as a way of averting destruction occasioned by heavy rains. Acholo Simon reports.
Floods continue to wreak havoc in parts of the country. In Kisumu County, development stakeholders are now demanding swift action from the county government to lessen effects of perennial floods in the region. Among them is the Anglican Development Agency, which wants a proactive approach, including stepping up efforts to desilt rivers in the area that have in the recent past left a trail of destruction.
As they continue to distribute food items, even medicine, I would appeal to the county government that this problem of our rivers blocking need to be cleared. Remember, about 1 or 2 years ago, we did not have these serious floods. Of course, there was not much rain, but a lot of channels were cleared.
The agency spoke as it distributed foodstuffs and other essentials worth over 700,000 shillings to victims of the floods.
Today, we are here to show solidarity with the flood victims of Nyando. We managed to mobilize some resources from our friends like the Episcopal Relief and Development Church in New York, who managed to give us some resources, which is going to enable us to distribute some relief items to around 257 households in Nyando region.
At least 7,000 people have been displaced, hundreds of homes destroyed, and food crops worth millions of shillings washed away as the heavy rains continue to pound the lakeside region. Achola Simon for Channel 1 News from Kisumu County.
On the international scene, at least 192 people are missing and 75 have died as a result of the explosion of the Fuego volcano. Villages on the slopes were buried in volcanic ash and mud, while rescue work was disrupted when a new eruption sent hot gas and molten rock streaming down the volcano's south side.
More than 1.7 million people have been affected by Sunday's eruption, with more than 3,000 evacuated. Tuesday's explosion took many by surprise after volcanologists said the eruption, which had sent ash up to 10 kilometers into the sky on Sunday, was over for the near future. Guatemala's National Institute of Seismology says there is no imminent eruption over the next few days. No evacuation alert was issued before the volcano erupted on Sunday, which left 75 people dead and thousands homeless, wiping off an entire village. Officials of the disaster relief agency said local residents had received training in emergency procedures but were not able to implement them because the initial volcanic activity happened too fast. Sunday's blast generated pyroclastic flows, which are fast-moving mixtures of very hot gas and volcanic matter. These descended down the slopes, engulfing nearby communities. Fuego volcanic eruption deposited quite a bit of loose volcanic material, and when the heavy rains hit the volcano, it washed the deposits away into these mud flows. The speed it travels depends on factors such as the output rate of the volcano and the gradient of its slope, but they have been known to reach speed up to 700 kilometers per hour, close to the cruising speed of a long-distance commercial passenger aircraft. Wow.